Hey, what is up, Aquamigos? How are you guys doing today? If you are new here, my name is Tobias and welcome to my YouTube channel. And I have some pretty good news today, guys. Check this out. I checked the ammonia levels of my 20-gallon guppy tank and it looks like we are down at 0.25. It's not completely at zero, but I mean, it does look like that tank is finally established. And you know what that means. We can finally start getting some of the guppies out of my 15-gallon tank into that 20-gallon. And let's just go ahead and take a quick look at my 20-gallon, and I'll come back here and explain what's going on here in a second. Alright, so here we are, guys. This is my 20-gallon long. If you haven't seen it and you want to see the video where I escaped this tank, I'll go ahead and link that video down in the description. So I have 4 guppies in here already because I put them in here to help, feed the beneficial bacteria, get that cycle going. And ultimately, what I ended up doing is I went ahead and let me show you real quick. So you see that little bag of white things in there? That's the biological media of this filter. And what I did is I took the one out of here and I traded it with the one in my 15-gallon. So if you look right there, that's actually the biomedia from my 20-gallon. And since this tank was already established, adding the biomedia from this tank into my 20-gallon helped jumpstart the cycle of my 20-gallon. And over here, if any of you guys remember this was my aquarium bin I set up for my guppies as well. And I also went ahead and put my water hyacinth and my water lettuce in here because I wanted to try to overwinter them. And if you look here, the water lettuce is actually still doing okay. The water hyacinth, however, has completely decomposed. So I went ahead and put the guppies from here into this tank right there. And there were a couple fry that I found. I found about 4 fry. They're still in here because I didn't want to put them in with the other guppies because they would surely get eaten. There's one right there. Another thing that I noticed is that there seem to be these seeds everywhere. See those little black seeds? I'm not sure what plant those are from, if they're from water hyacinth, if they're from the water lettuce, but they're like everywhere. They're just all over the place. So I'm curious to see what happens with those. So I'm just gonna keep this tank running. I'm gonna see if the water lettuce survive over the winter. As for the water hyacinth, I just don't know what's gonna happen with those. I've never tried to overwinter water hyacinth before, but I mean, I think I'm just gonna leave them and see what happens. All right, guys, so now let's go ahead and get some of those guppies in here. So now that we got all the guppies in there, I just want to take a quick minute and talk about this whole setup. This is a 20-gallon long Aquarium aquarium that I got a while back from Petco during the $1 per gallon sale, so it only cost me $20 for the actual aquarium itself. So the entire substrate is play sand that I got from Lowe's, and at Lowe's I also bought a big bag of lava rocks because that's what I used to tie my crested Java fern to. The bag of play sand and the bag of lava rocks came out to a total of $11. If you look over here, I have a 50-watt heater. I bought that heater for like under $10 on eBay. It was like $9.33 or something like that. But we'll just round it up to $10 for now. For the filtration, I have a 20 to 50 gallon AquaClear hang-on back filter. I bought that on Amazon for $38. So another thing that I have in this guppy tank is I have this pre-filter sponge that goes over the intake of my AquaClear filter, because the AquaClear filters, their intakes are like this, and the openings are quite large, and guppy fry could easily get sucked up into that. And to my surprise, I actually already have some guppy fry in this tank. And I believe you can get a pack of like 6 of those on Amazon for about $8. I'll go ahead and have links to everything that I'm talking about right now down in the description of this video, in case you want to look at anything yourself. And then over here, I have this JW thermometer, and this was about $9. I got it at Petco, but they're also on Amazon. I'll go ahead and put a link for that in the description below. But you don't have to get the same one as that. I've seen aquarium thermometers on Amazon for like less than $2. So I mean, if you want to go that route, you know, I'd actually encourage that. And actually the most expensive part of this whole tank was the Siriu rock that I have here sticking out of the sand. Those were $35 on Amazon, and it came with 17 pounds worth of stone. But I do feel like it was worth it. They look super nice. I think they look super cool. And if you look down there, I kind of made a trail out of this natural looking aquarium gravel. I can't remember how much it was. I just happened to have it already, but I'm pretty sure I bought that at Petco like a long time ago. So my total cost for building this aquarium was around $131, not including tax. With tax, that would come out to around $142, $43 or so. And if you're making a guppy tank, probably the most important thing that you want to think about, and this is actually something that I need to start looking into pretty soon, because surprisingly, I already have some fry in this tank, but you want to have like a lot of hiding spaces for your guppy fry. So it doesn't matter if you go with like real plants or fake plants, either is fine, just as long as you have kind of a lot of it for the guppy fry to hide in. And the other thing that you want to take into consideration is how many guppies you start out with, because if you do have males and females, they will breed and you're going to end up with a ton of guppies. So I would really recommend starting out with not that many, and then if you end up with a lot, like just have a plan. Like, are you going to start another tank? Do you have a friend you could give some to? You could always bring them back to the pet store, because when you end up with too many, you're going to end up with like a crazy algae problem like I have on my 15 gallon right now, because that tank is like kind of overstocked right now. So yeah, those are just some things that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about my setup here, and I think I mentioned it earlier, but I have about a dozen guppies in here right now, and in the end I want to end up with like a total of 20 guppies in here. This tank will be comfortably stocked with 20, I believe, if we're going by the inch per gallon rule, and we'll just kind of play it by ear from there. If I need to set up another tank or another aquarium bin because I have too many guppies, I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pick this camera up again tomorrow, and we'll get some more guppies in here. I just don't want to add them all in the same day, because I don't want to overwhelm the beneficial bacteria. And just really quick before I forget, I have a couple shout outs for today's video. I have a shout out for Joshua Santos and a shout out for Joel Shaw. Thank you guys so much for being Aquamigos. I appreciate that. And if anyone else would like a shout out in my next fish video, all you have to do is go down to the comments below and comment, "I am an Aquamigo," and also hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. All right, guys, I figured before I put the camera down today, we'd go ahead and do a quick feeding up at the pool pond real quick. All right, here we are, guys. It has been insanely windy lately. Alright guys, so I'm gonna pick the camera up again tomorrow and we'll move some more of those guppies into the 20 gallon. Hey, what's up guys? So it is the next day, although it might be hard to tell because I'm wearing almost the same exact outfit I was wearing yesterday. But it is the next day, and I'm actually gonna hold off on putting more guppies into the 20 gallon because check it out. I just checked the parameters of the 20 gallon this morning just to make sure that we didn't get a huge ammonia spike or anything like that from adding those extra guppies. And check this out. Ammonia, we are still good. We are at 0.25 parts per million. However, nitrites, we skyrocketed up to like 2 parts per million. And then over here we have our nitrates. We are at 5 parts per million, which is actually really good. But yeah, it just seems like we don't have enough of the beneficial bacteria converting that nitrite to nitrate. And usually, you know, you'd have all this stuff sorted out before you're starting to put fish into a new tank. But the reason that I'm kind of rushing it is because in my 15 gallon right there, it's so hard to keep the nitrates at a safe level in that tank just because that tank is like pretty overstocked. And that's why I'm kind of rushing the setup of the 20 gallon. But I mean, I'm going to keep my eyes on the parameters. You know me, I keep my eyes on the parameters like a hawk. So I mean, as soon as those nitrites start to come down, I'll go ahead and get another like 8 guppies into the 20 gallon and we should be comfortably stocked at that point. And then I need to try to figure out how many guppies I actually have in my 15 gallon and if I need to set up another tank or not. The good news is that if I do need to set up another tank, these sponge filters in my aquarium bin, they should be good to go. So anyways guys, I hope you liked this video. That is my 20 gallon guppy tank setup. If you guys did like this video, I'd appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out tremendously. And if you'd like to see more videos by me in the future, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notifications button, become an Aquamigo today, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Peace!